Hey guys, welcome back to another FPL stream. I absolutely love that song. Like I'm just always jamming behind the scenes to it. It just makes me happy. My Wi-Fi is crappy. I'm on my phone's hotspot. If I crap out during this stream, Olivia will keep you going. Thankfully, we're recording this, so I can kind of like edit that as well. But I'm going to buy a Wi-Fi router extender thingy because you guys have known if you're watching my videos, if you're on the stream with Matisse, like it's been terrible. But we're back for another FPL Gameweek 11 preview. My team is doing so terribly. Like I just see red arrows every single week. I don't know why. Had Conor Gallagher on my bench because I was like, surely Palace aren't going to pull something against City. And I just don't even know. I keep making so many transfers every week because I'm so pissed with my team. And it's probably not the way to do things, but I'm just like, I don't know what to do. How are you feeling?
Same. That Conor Gallagher, like I've played Conor Gallagher every week from when I've bought him, and he's done pretty much nothing. Maybe got one assist. The one game we bench him for, and he goes and gets a goal and assist and all three bonus and like 13 points. I literally barely got 13 from all my other players. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like I got 35 points, which actually is bloody awful, like way below average. It was just an awful week, and I did an FPL show, like a fan zone show, but FPL version yesterday. And we were talking to like an expert who's had like 4 top 1K finishes in like the world. And I said to him, like, what should I do? Like, I want to take Cancelo out. I'm done with him. Want to take Sarr out. And he thinks I should stick with Cancelo. And I was just like, but I want Reece James. And I just now, my head is scrambled for what I'm going to do this game week because people are telling me different things and now I don't know what to do. But yeah, awful game week. I know I need to make transfers, but I need to it's going to take a while for me to try and sort my team out.
But my problem is that I just do like knee jerk. I've been doing knee jerk transfers because I've been so pissed. So I took a -4. And I did Aspie to Reece James because I really wanted Reece James in my team. So now I have Reece and Chilwell, which is kind of risky. And I never do this, but I was like, you know what? I have so much squad depth. Like if one of them doesn't play, I don't really care. Because right now I have this problem that I have 13 players to choose for 11 spots. So I have 2 really good players on my bench at all times. And I also transferred in Huang, is that how you pronounce it? Huang, from Wolves. Because I saw that he had, let me just pull up his stats right now. So he had, before I transferred him in, 3 goals in 4 games. He blanked against Everton.
He did have a goal disallowed in that game though.
Oh, so
very, very close VAR call.
So I transferred him in as well because I transferred him in for Tony because I was just like, obviously I've given Tony 2 chances now and he hasn't done anything since I've had him in my team. But I'll tell you right now, my team is Sanchez in goal, Cancelo, James, Trent, Chilwell, Livramento, because Livramento was one of those players as well that I was like, oh, he's just going to be my bench utility player. And then he's actually been one of the only players who's getting me points every week. Salah, Foden, Gallagher, Vardy, Huang, and I have Rafinha and Antonio on my bench right now.
God, I literally don't even know what I'm gonna do.
It's a mess.
I'm debating captaining Ivan Toney, by the way.
That's no way.
Bold. Well, actually, I just tell you, I've just looked at my team now, and that fixture at home to Norwich is screaming out to me. But that's a different. We'll come on to that. I probably won't end up doing it because I'll probably just captain Salah because I'll bottle it. But my team is at the moment. My team is. Let me just swap around them. So it's Livramento, Cancelo, Trent, and Christensen. However, that could be a Christensen to Reece James. I'm thinking. Salah, Havertz, Gallagher, Antonio, Vardy, Toney. And then on my bench is Sarr, Gray, and Williams. So I'm happy with that for this game week. So actually, maybe I don't need to make a sub this week. but I'm worried about Andreas Christensen having played 90 minutes against who did we play? No, and the one before that, Newcastle. He's played 90 minutes. He played 90 minutes both games, which makes me think he's not going to play on Saturday. So that's a big decision of mine, because that then makes or breaks my team.
Do you have enough money for Reece?
Oh yeah, I've got loads of money. Yeah, I've got plenty of money for Reece. So I can make that sub. But is it a waste of a sub going from Christian to Reece James, even though Reece James is nailed on to start? Probably not then, but I don't know if I'm.
I just felt like, you know, out of all of the players, like I think Chilwell probably is more or less nailed on at this point, and maybe you're going to have one in every 4 games that he doesn't play, and Reece maybe a little bit less. But he's just been getting he's been getting forward so much. He's been getting a lot more central. I know he's more expensive than Christensen, but I think like I was so upset that I didn't have him last week, because he just has like he's starting to score more goals, which is what we've wanted to see from Reece. We know that he can score wicked goals and probably get assists as well. So I would do it if I were you.
Yeah.
And then if he doesn't play, then 1 week, then you can have somebody on your bench like Gray, who will come in.
Yeah.
Guys, let me know who you think I should have on my bench. Like I was thinking Antonio versus Liverpool. Well, you know, it's Liverpool, but then I was thinking Liverpool have also conceded a decent amount of goals recently. So
this isn't us. Like, this isn't saying that West Ham are going to go and win the game, but they conceded 3 to Brentford. They conceded 2 at home to Brighton. West Ham are more than capable of getting a goal. The problem is that they've got a lot of different. They've got Jared Bowen, Pablo Fornals, even Declan Rice is getting in on the goal. So it's not just Mikel Antonio that scores every week, but he scored last week. I was so irritated by West Ham's performance, because there was a position where Antonio had laid in Lanzini, and Lanzini from about 6 yards decides to square it to someone else to score, and I was like, just shoot! You have cost me 4 points for Antonio. Yeah. But I'm going to play him. Like, absolutely, I'm playing him against Liverpool.
Oh, definitely. Then who do I take out? That's my problem. Like, do I take out Livramento against Villa? Maybe there's.
I think yeah. Who you back? Oh, so you got Chilwell, Reece, Trent, right now.
Yeah, Cancelo, and also Foden against United. You know, I feel like that fixture can go either way, because United, you just never know if they're going to show up, but they haven't been playing well. They've kind of just had Ronaldo save them.
Yeah,
I think. So I'm not sure if I should maybe take Foden out, Livramento. Those are the 2 that I'm kind of thinking about, because the rest I quite like to have in the team.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to give Cancelo a couple more weeks, because it stresses me out. Like, he is the second highest scoring defender behind Reece James, but I think it's just I've put him in and he just they haven't kept a clean sheet against teams that you would expect them to keep clean sheet, and we're not getting attacking returns. Like with Trent, I almost don't mind, because I know he'll get me attacking returns, like usually anyway. But I think I might stick with him for a couple of games and see. But it's quite a lot of money to have when he's not getting clean sheets or any other points. But
I kind of am just gonna like wait that one out. I also Chelsea also have like quite difficult fixtures, but the thing is, I feel like Chelsea could always pull out a clean sheet.
Yeah, we don't really ever look like conceding, do we?
Yeah, so I'm kind of like waiting to see how that plays out, and if I see that we're starting to really concede goals, then I will transfer out one of Reece or Chilwell. But still TBD. So are there any fixtures that you're looking at that you think like, oh, this is a really favorable fixture?
Well, Brentford, Brighton at home. I know Brentford, David Reyes. Norwich at home. David Reyes, such a big miss in goal, but I still think they should be able to cause that Norwich defence, all sorts of problems. So, yeah, I've got Ivan Toney and I'm keeping Ivan Toney, but I probably won't captain him. But there's not really many people like screaming out at me for captaincy options for this game week.
Yeah, like I don't love. I mean, Salah has been incredible, but I'm just thinking like West Ham is like quite a difficult fixture. You could go
It's
really
West Ham
crazy and
away
go
as
for
well.
yeah. That's the thing. I'm thinking like the if I'm going crazy and thinking of like a mad differential, I would go for James or Chilwell.
Yeah.
Um, but
You just know,
Burnley,
like as soon now that we've put in Reece James, he'll probably get sent off.
yeah, I know. It's literally my like that's been my luck like this year. Like every time I transfer somebody in, I've been thinking about it. I transfer them in, and then they don't go for it. I'm probably just going to stick with Salah.
It's so exciting.
I just
It's
don't
happened with
know.
Vardy. Vardy, I'm sticking with as
Yeah,
well because I think that Leeds fixture's quite nice. And then
yeah,
after,
that's why
I
I
mean,
have
after that
Rafinha on my
they've got Chelsea, but then they've got Watford, Southampton, Villa, Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? Like I sort of want Vardy for that run, but that could be a classic case. If he doesn't return, I might bring in Lukaku again if he's fit after the international break. But
Yeah, especially if
yeah,
you
I
have
don't know.
money in
That
the
could be an
bank.
option.
I don't
Yeah,
think I have. Oh, I have 1.3 in the bank. Nice. So I could
yeah, that's pretty
easily
good.
upgrade for
Yeah,
Lukaku from Vardy.
yeah.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I think my oh no. My watch started making noises and I was like, oh, it's probably Siri. Um, okay, so I asked viewers on Twitter their FPL questions that they wanted to get answered. So I've kind of split them up because since my Twitter following is very heavy Chelsea fans, obviously I've split them up into Chelsea questions and just general FPL questions. So we're going to start with the FPL questions and then we'll talk all about the Chelsea players as well. So one of the major questions that we got, Liv, is what to do with Antonio because it seems like he hasn't been performing. I think he was maybe overperforming at the start of the season. So a lot of people are asking whether to keep or sell him.
Oh, I'm gonna keep. Like you said, there's not enough good solid options at the moment in players that are consistently forwards that are consistently returning. Um, he's only ever gone 2 games without returning, which to me is not that bad. Like I'm like 4 or 5, and that's like okay, like you're coming out. But actually, it's a bit mad. They scored 4 goals and he didn't get a single goal or an assist. But you know, they've got quite a tough run of games, West Ham. But until there's a replacement of someone that I really want, I mean, I suppose you could downgrade, couldn't you, to someone like Hwang and then upgrade a midfielder. I don't think his form is too bad to consider getting rid of him yet. Well, I don't think so anyway, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to get rid of him. Yeah, I've got more than enough faith in him that he's gonna keep scoring and keep getting returns. But I can understand people questioning it. But actually, when you look at his returns, he only really blanks for 2 games in a row. That's the maximum, and that's pretty good in 10 game weeks.
I think like kind of what I mentioned earlier, it's like he was doing like so well at the beginning, like every game
Yeah,
week he was scoring or getting 2 goals and
it was like
um
three double-digit game weeks in a row, like 3 double-digit
yeah,
goals in a
like
row.
that's insane.
Yeah,
So obviously if you're just scoring like one or getting an assist or whatever, it's going to feel like a lot less.
yeah.
So another big talking point is, of course, that Antonio Conte has gone to Spurs this week. So with that appointment, a lot of people are wondering if it's worth investing in Spurs assets and specifically which ones. The two big names were, of course, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. What do you think?
Not yet. I think it's going to be really interesting to see if he gets a tune out of Harry Kane, how Son and Kane are going to link up under Conte. He was almost certainly going to a 3 at the back. So that could be like a Mora Son Kane front 3. Spurs' fixtures are pretty good, but I would hold off on Kane and Son just until at least we can sort of see the vibe they're going for under Conte, where they're going, how Kane's looking, how Son's looking. They are obviously now definitely more appealing options, but they're also very expensive options as well, especially Harry Kane. And yeah, I would obviously both of them are in my thinking, but they're not going to be in my thinking until at least probably game week 12, 13, I think. 13, 14, I'd say. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, last year they were like two of the players that I had almost consistently. Like I always had at least one of Son or Kane. And now I just felt like, Tottenham have kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit. But with Conte, I think he is going to get the most out of them. I don't think that he's going to really take like whatever's been going on, he's going to bring out the best of Harry Kane. But like you said, it's just too early for me. It's a lot of money for both of those players. So I'd rather wait to see if you want to be really risky and have a massive differential, then go for it.
Yeah.
Another person asked, Arsenal have been playing better. Is Aubameyang a legitimate option?
I just think I know. Let me have a look at his returns, because I know he has been scoring. He obviously blanked last time out. He's been he's been pretty good form, but I just think for 10 million, I mean, if you didn't want Vardy, then that's quite a good swap if you wanted to go for Aubameyang, because they've got, the thing is, you want him for two of the next three. They've got Watford at home, Liverpool away, and then Newcastle at home. So you want him for both of those home fixtures. You could go for him. Personally, I'm probably going to go for maybe Smith Rowe, only like around the 5 million mark, nearly just, I think it's mid fives. Maybe a Saka as well. They're both guaranteed to start. They're both a whole lot cheaper than Aubameyang. And if you only want them short term, because after that they've got Man United, Everton, Southampton, and then West Ham, and then Leeds is probably quite a good fixture. But after that, they got quite a few difficult fixtures in a row. So I wouldn't be looking at getting them in long term. But if you want a quick short term fixture, you're not happy with someone like Vardy, or you're not convinced on Ronaldo or whatever, then Aubameyang could be a good choice. It's differential, only owned by 5.4% of managers. So
yeah, he's just so expensive for the amount of points that he's been getting recently. So personally, I would probably stay away. Like you said, I think like a Smith Rowe is much more favorable. He's actually scored in his past 2 games. So take with that what you will. And then our last non-Chelsea question is, it's kind of non-Chelsea because it's about Conor Gallagher, who we know is a Chelsea loanee. He's playing for Crystal Palace, arguably their play of the season. And they're asking, is he a big differential? Right now, he's 9.1% ownership. So he's a differential, but I wouldn't say like absolutely massive. I would think of big differentials maybe like under 5-ish%.
Yeah.
But I really liked the looks of him. He scored 13 points, and I had him on my bench. I'm putting him in my team this week.
Yeah, I know he'll blank. He'll absolutely blank. But I'm not risking the chance of having another haul on my bench. I'm just not doing it. So I don't know who Palace have got. Who have Palace got?
I think Wolves. If I'm not
it's a pretty nice game. Wolves at home. But I'm gonna stick with Gallagher. He's not much of a differential, I wouldn't say, but he's cheap as well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's 5.7 million. And he started off the season really well, didn't he? But I'm still not convinced he's like an amazing F player. He's a brilliant player, and more often than not, Crystal Palace's best player on the pitch, but that doesn't always translate into FPL points, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm going to play him. I probably wouldn't be looking to buy him if I didn't have him.
Yeah,
I don't think, not yet anyway. I think he needs to get a consistent run of returns for people that don't have him to then be looking to bring him in.
Awesome. So now we're going to pivot to the Chelsea questions. We got loads, so I figured we can just kind of talk about Chelsea, and we're going to address all of them. So basically, all of the main questions that we have are around which Chelsea players to bring into your team. We're seeing that there's a lot of different options: Ziyech, Havertz, Mount, Callum. Callum is starting to play more. Are these players worth having in your team? And I think we can both agree that the Chelsea fullbacks or wingbacks are the players if you're targeting to have at least one Chelsea player on your side.
Yeah, I think everyone should opt for Reece James or Ben Chilwell. They seem to be playing a lot in the Premier League whereas Alonso and Azpilicueta seem to be getting run out in the Champions League. So yeah, I would go for one of, if not both of them, if you haven't got one. But I probably wouldn't go Havertz. My mistake was obviously going Havertz before the Norwich game, and that was obviously a risk, but it didn't pay off. But other positions in my team I need to figure out him. But maybe Callum Hudson-Odoi, he could shout. But I'm just thinking, after the international break, Werner and Lukaku are likely to be back. That then upsets, again, the whole of Tuchel's front line. Mount's probably the one that will keep his place. Ziyech won't. I would not for Hakim Ziyech, and I probably long-term would not for Callum Hudson-Odoi. If you wanted a punt for a one-week shot, then Chelsea at home against Burnley, it's probably going to be Havertz, Hudson-Odoi and Mount, I imagine, in that front three. But yeah, I would probably say Mason Mount's probably the one to go for out of the Chelsea attack. But yeah, he's obviously cheap as well, which is obviously makes him slightly more appealing. But the fullbacks are the most important.
And speaking of the fullbacks, Gianni asked us really difficult question. If you can only have one of the Chelsea fullbacks, Reece James or Ben Chilwell, who are you going for? I have both, guys, just to be transparent.
I really don't know. I don't think that genuinely. I don't think there's much in it. I think Reece. Oh, it's so hard because Reece James can obviously play in a 3 as well as playing as a wing back. But we've got a lot of centre backs and Azpilicueta that can play both as well. So that's why I always think Reece James is likely to be dropped at some point. He's only started 5 Premier League games out of the 10. So he's only started 5 out of the 10. His points have come in 3. Just all of his points have come in 3 games. The other 2, he's either got 0 or 1. He got sent off against Liverpool, didn't he? And then there was another game he got 0, Man City. He had to come off in that game, didn't he? He got injured. But all of his points have come in 3 starts. So that's the risk you take with Reece James, is that he is likely, when you look at his starts, he is more likely to be rotated. But then I would say he's probably, if you've got the 2, I think at the moment he's more likely to get attacking returns. Ben Chilwell has shown that he can very much get amongst the goals and score goals, but Reece going forward at the moment just looks he's gone up to a whole nother level. But it's really hard. I don't know. Like, I think Chilwell's probably more likely to start more games, and if that's what you want in an FPL player, then go for Ben Chilwell. But if you want to take a bit of a risk, and you've got, like you said, Elizabeth, got not a lot of bench players, that it doesn't actually matter if Reece James doesn't play, and then someone else comes in and you're happy with that, then I would go Reece James.
Yeah. Just to add to that, like if you're looking for more of a differential, Reece is a little bit cheaper and he's like 4% less owned than Ben Chilwell, if that makes a difference too. But honestly, I think they're both really, really good assets. I'm just kind of looking at their points. So Chile has 43 and Reece has 56. And Reece has played a lot less. Well, has he played that many less games? I know that
Chilwell started the last 3. He started the last 4. He started the last 4 in a row. The last game he didn't start was Manchester City. And then he had obviously a tough start to the season because that was when obviously Marcus Alonso was playing really well. But he has started the last 4, and in that time he's got 8, 15, 12 and 8. So that's pretty good.
It's mad. Yeah, they've played. Reece has played a little bit more than Chilwell has.
Yeah, so I look at literally all of Reece James's points have come. Arsenal open second day of the season, Norwich, and then Newcastle the last 2 games. In between that, he's got 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. So actually, when you look at it, Ben Chilwell's definitely the better option, I think. Because
are you convincing yourself to transfer Chilwell in now?
I don't know. I always like to go form over fixtures, and like form obviously is the main thing. And knowing that Reece James didn't start against Malmo, knowing he's absolutely going to start against Burnley, that's making me want to go for Reece James. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough between the 2, but actually, you're guaranteed more starts with Ben Chilwell, I think.
Yeah.
Since he's made his way into the team, he hasn't come out of it.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Whereas Reece James has. If he's come into the team, he's then been rested. He's come back into the team, he's then been rested. So
yeah, it just depends if you have like enough players, or if you have a headache like me and have too many players and don't know who to choose. But guys, I think that we've covered a lot. I'm trying to keep these to around 30 minutes so that they are kind of like digestible. You can kind of watch this or have it on in the background and kind of just listen to us chat. Hopefully the Wi-Fi was okay. I know it like kind of came in and out at some points. So I will be fixing that for next week and hopefully it works. Yeah.
Ellie, who are you captaining?
God. Right now my armband is on Salah, and I don't know if I'm going to have the balls to change it.
That's the thing. Like, I know he only got an assist last week, but the fixtures like Havertz, Burnley at home. Obviously, Salah, doesn't matter who they're playing. Like, he's obviously the captain pick, and then Ivan Toney, Norwich at home, but he hasn't been scoring recently. So I think I'm probably going to do the same as you and stick it on Salah because I can't be asked or don't have the balls to change it. But
between Salah and Reece James, honestly, because the thing is with Burnley, I don't know who's going to score, because typically it's kind of like, a low block. We struggle to break them down. Then it will be a moment of brilliance from somebody that eventually breaks through. I think I'm probably just going to keep it on Salah, but I've kind of I'm already feeling like going a bit rogue with my captain choices, because I feel like I'm so far behind everybody.
But you don't need to go rogue just yet.
I'm just praying for a good game week. Like, I'm tired of all these red arrows and bad game weeks. It's been enough, as Anita said.
Tell me about it. Oh, honestly, don't. We're both rubbish this season. We've gone from both having good seasons to both the start of the season just been absolute mare.
Wow, it's been absolute mare. Every week I'm like, yeah, this is the week I'm happy with my team, and then every week it tanks. Well, guys, let us know like how you're doing in FPL, who you're captaining, and what your transfers are for this week. Hopefully this helped to provide a bit of clarity, even though we're not doing so well in our own teams. I feel like the advice is still there.
Yeah, definitely. We can still bring that.
At least we have something. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to follow Olivia on Twitter and follow us here every Thursday. Now I think we changed it to give you guys kind of like an extra day to watch this for more FPL tips and advice. Hope you enjoyed this stream, and until next time, we're out.